Hey everybody, I'm Steve. Welcome to Hall and Ash. As you can see in the background, it's winter here in Michigan. So with that, what better time than right now to go out to the barn, get my ice fishing gear down, get it gone through, take a look and see what needs to be replaced, what needs to be updated, and be ready for the upcoming season. So if you would, stick with me, follow along, and thank you for watching. So what we have here is my basic ice fishing equipment, the things that I feel I need in my ice shanty to fish comfortably and to fish efficiently. I have 3 ice fishing rods with reels spooled up with 2-pound test line. There's usually a jig on them, such as this. You can use wigglers, wax worms, maggots. This is called my bait puck, and you put mousies in this. That way you don't lose them. They are kind of organized, and they what you do with those is you just thread them onto the hook of your jig and drop them down. Now if you're using minnows, then I strongly recommend this Engel live bait cooler. I use this for my regular fishing during soft water season as well as hard water. You just can't beat these. They're available in 3 different sizes. I believe it's the 13, 19, and 30 quart size. Inside they have a netting so you can just lift up to get your fish or scoop in, either way. Like I said, I'm real fond of the Engel live bait cooler as well as all of the Engel products that I have. You have to have an auger. I have a handheld auger. Someday I'd like to upgrade to a power one, but I've got a couple of friends that do have power augers, and when I fish with them, this pretty much just stays right in the truck. You've got to have an ice skimmer. After you got the hole bored through the ice, you got to skim all the ice out of the hole so you have just water. I have a box of jigs. Actually, I have several boxes. These are kind of the larger ones. I've got the smaller ones like I showed you on this rod here. And then a tip up. I just did a review on this, my last video. So I can't say too much about this. I haven't tried it. And excuse me, I've got a little cold. Markham LX7 fish finder. I didn't have one of these until about 3 years ago, and before that I was fishing blind. I'm colorblind anyway, but that's a different story. The nice thing about these fish finders, well, when they work, I just bought a new battery for it. I guess maybe the one that's in there isn't charged up. But anyway, they work very nice. They will show you the bottom, the depth of your, the bottom of the lake. And they'll show you where the fish are suspended. And you can actually see your jig drop through the water column to the fish. Another thing that's an absolute must-have is a heater. I use this heater in my hunting blind, in my ice shanty, and I also put it in my boat. A lot of times, late fall, early spring, when you're fishing out there, it's cold, and it's nice to have this little bit of heat to keep your fingers warm. It's just enough, for me anyway, it's just enough to take away the chill and make it for a comfortable day. I always bring an extra bottle, 1-pound tank of propane, because you're going to run out if you fish all day. I fill my own tanks. I could do a video on that later if anybody is interested in seeing how that's done. Leave a comment below. With that, that's the equipment that I need. Oh, I know why this doesn't work. I don't have it plugged in. I always unplug them so that it doesn't drain the battery. There, now we should be able to fire this up. Voila! This is the transducer, and you put this fish finder next to the hole and put this so that it's kind of on the side of the hole, and you'll drop that down just below the ice. You know, if the ice is 8 inches thick, well, you're going to be there just below 8 inches. It hangs over the side of the hole, and you just put it on like that. And there's all kinds of, so you can see right here it's starting to fire up. You can see what these indicators are. It's incorrect. We're not at 11 feet, so I don't know why it's reading that. Oh, now we're at 0 feet. Now we're at 11. Anyway, I wouldn't be without one of these now that I have one. It's well worth the money. I got a deal on this one. It was used. The fellow bought it, had it for about a year, couldn't ice fish anymore, sold it to me for about half what a new one would cost. So that's the equipment. Now we're going to move on to the ice fishing shanty. So this is what I have for ice fishing. It's a 2-man flip over. I bought it about 15 years ago. Between the 2 seats, that space works well to put that crate with all of your fishing gear, your rods, reels, heater, fish finder. That all fits there real well. And then on the sides, your ice auger works there. I've used this enough that I've got it kind of figured out where everything works well. The 2 seats slide forward and backwards, and they swivel, and the backrests will flip down. After you've been over the ice and you've determined that this is the spot you want to fish, you drill your 2 holes, and then you simply flip it over. And that's what it means, is you flip this covering over top of the 2 seats all the way down like so. At this point, I will take snow that's out on the ice and feather it along the skirting, and that way it keeps any wind from getting underneath and cooling your shanty down inside. The front is accessed by this big zipper. It goes all the way across, down the side and the bottom. There's a clear plastic light window, whatever you want to call it, right there. And you simply undo the Velcro and you have light. I zip it all the way open, and that way I get all my gear inside, the heater, fish finder, bait, all your stuff. Everything fits inside there, and then if you're fishing with a person, they get in there as well, and then you zip it shut. And that will keep it plenty warm, even on the coldest day. I was fishing up in the Upper Peninsula about 10 years ago with it, and it was really cold, but I was warm. It's just enough of a shelter to keep the wind off from you. Folks, if you're in an area that you can ice fish, I strongly urge you to check ice conditions first before you go. Check and make sure that it's safe conditions. The ice is thick enough. We certainly don't need to lose anybody through the ice. Hey, I got my dog out here. Hey boy, can you help me finish this video up? His name is Hunter. We call him Wilbur. My dad gave him that name. So back on topic. I noticed that I'm getting close to 100 subscribers, folks. I guess Hunter wants to be the center of attention here. I'm getting close to 100 subscribers, and I want to thank each and every one of you that has subscribed to my channel. It means a lot. I do appreciate it. I hope to find good content to keep you folks interested. And with that, thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, take care.